We have a lot of energy projects coming there.
Yeah.
Now, do you think those energy projects will be done by AI robots? No. We need engineers to do that. And what kind of engineers for that? We need civil engineers, we need mechanical engineers, we need electrical engineers. And that's where, these students, when they start studying with us and when they do a co-op placement with an industry of their choice and a project of their choice, they have an opportunity to be absorbed by, those regional industries. And there's a lot of growth happening in our regional areas. A lot of people after pandemic decided to relocate to regional areas because regional areas have a smaller population density and they have the flexibility now to work from home.
Hi everyone, I'm Kanika Goyal from AECC and today we are delighted to bring you a special collaboration with Federation University Australia. I'm honored to be joined by Professor Harpreet Singh Kundra, a senior faculty member at Federation University. Welcome. And I would like you to say a few words and introduction of yourself for our students.
Thank you, Kanika, for having me. Thank you, AECC. And of course, good day, namaste, Sat Shri Akal and Salam. I have been at Federation University for a good 12 years, relocated to Australia in 2007, did a PhD and started working at Federation. And I teach civil engineering, but I also support some other engineering teaching. And I am affiliated to the Institute of Innovation, Science and Sustainability.
Thank you so much for the detailed information. To begin with, Professor Kundra, many students today are looking for university that offers the academic quality with the strong practical outcomes. And how does Federation University position itself to meet their expectations?
See, Federation University is very uniquely placed. Uniquely placed in the sense that we are very mindful of our student to teacher ratios and we have a very good interactive environment in our classes so that the students can be engaged. For us, a student is not just a number. For us, our student is an investment into the future, into the future of the world. We always aim to create global citizens who are problem solvers, and that's where our teaching pedagogy is focused around providing students a unique academic experience. Our assessment tasks are designed so that the students can become problem solvers, and the entire teaching philosophy of our academics is such that we try to take personal interest in each and every student that we have at the campus.
Nice. And how are Federation University engineering program designed to combine their strong theoretical foundation with hands-on practical learning? And also, if you can elaborate a little bit about the difference between the co-op program and the internship.
A lot of questions in there, very nice questions, well drafted.
Okay.
Thank you for that. See, when our students get into the classes in year one, they do study with students from all streams. So we are not creating just a civil engineer, we are creating a multidisciplinary engineer. Again, in year 2 and year 3, when they study with us, again, they do specialized courses which are unique to the stream in which they want to qualify. Civil engineers would study geotech engineering, transport engineering, structural engineering, water resources. But again, on the other hand, they also study, common courses like project management, etc., so that they can work with other students and students from other engineering backgrounds. So that's how we provide them a multidisciplinary engineering skill. Now, when it comes to doing assessment tasks, they are not theoretical questions only. They are problems that the students have to solve, and those problems are, problems from the real world. Problems about how to design a particular thing in a particular environment and a particular setting. Again, when we make students work, we try to create teams. So it's not a single student doing a design problem, it's a team of a few students from different backgrounds trying to bring in respective knowledge from their own country, from their own stream. And that's how students learn in a collaborative environment. Now we have started offering a co-op placement to the students, which is again integrated into our program. And the idea of that opportunity is that it should become a win-win situation for everyone, for the university, for the industry, and for the students as well. Often as all other universities, we do have industry collaborations, but students are not thoroughly involved in those collaborations. But with a co-op placement, the student is promised 60 days of industry placement, which is a paid placement. And when they are working with the industry, they get a foot into the industry. They really understand how can they translate their theoretical knowledge and skills into the real world and solve real world problems. And if the student is bright, doing well, and if they leave an impression in the industry will certainly consider, engaging that student for future roles as well as future projects.
Thank you so much. I would like to ask one more here is how does the university regularly updates their record and update their courses and remain aligned with the industry and global trends?
A very good question again, Kanika. We are accredited by Engineers Australia. All of our engineering programs are accredited by Engineers Australia, who come to our campus and do a thorough evaluation. So we are always on our toes, trying to make sure that we are industry relevant and we are involving industry. Let's take this example, AI.
Yeah.
The world is talking about AI,
course.
and we need to integrate AI into our teaching curriculum. So when I would, for example, teach water engineering and water management to my students, I will introduce them to some AI case studies and how I have integrated AI into doing my research, collecting my data, using Internet of Things. In the same way, if we are teaching project management or if we are imparting basic engineering skills to the students in year one, we will often talk about computer modeling, which is the first step towards us to be able to do AI programming.
Yeah.
So again, all of our academics are well connected with the industry. They know what is happening. They interact with each other. The content of every unit is evaluated on a regular basis. We collect feedback from the student. We collect feedback from our colleagues. We invite our colleagues to come to our classes and see how I am teaching, so that they can give me some feedback about my teaching methods. They might take a good message from my teaching and they might give me some tips on how I should be teaching. So I think it's a thorough, rigorous program, and all of and the way the programs are designed and the way the programs are evaluated, and the idea is that we comprehensively focus on good quality outcomes in terms of learning and teaching.
You have already talked about the internship programs, right? So how it's typically benefit for the students and how it is industry engagement opportunities. How?
So first of all, I will let you know that co-op is different from internship. Co-op is integrated into the curriculum, and an internship is a one-off thing. Normally an internship will be advertised by an industry and the students will apply for it. But in case of a co-op model, we are formally integrating that industry placement into the curriculum. So that is how the two are different. But again, once the student goes into the industry and starts working in the industry, they might be working on a water project, they might be working on an environment project, they might be working on a structures project, and I'm giving you examples particularly from civil engineering, which is my discipline. These students will really get to know what standards are being used and how they are being used, what models are being used by the specific industries, and that's how they get to know how things are really done on the real scale, on the ground.
As you have already mentioned about AI, so do you think that AI is taking over all the industry and how it is going to benefit to the students, or anything you would like to share about it both?
See, this is a very interesting question, and the world is still, understanding what is AI, how it can be used, how it will be used, and every day is different. Every few days or weeks or months, things can change. Even if you look at, the standard AI things that are happening on the web, they are being updated on a regular basis. Now, we are also mindful of that, but I think we have to understand this, that AI is a tool. AI is a tool, and the tool is facilitating us to do something and accomplish something for us, which can be done at a faster pace, in a more efficient way. But again, we do understand that, and computer programming is one of the essential skills that the students should have, and engineers do learn MATLAB programming in our engineering offerings. In the same way, when the students are in third year and in final year and they are doing a research project, we try to create research projects out of AI work. I can again give you an example from the water industry. We created a project where, from my own PhD research, we did some work around using AI to predict modeling, predict clogging in some filters. So again, our academics are using AI to create projects in the area of geotech and all. So we do provide an exposure to the students so that once they are in the industry, they are job ready, and it should not come to them as a phobia once they
Yeah.
land into the industry, that this is something that I've not studied at the university,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden my employer wants me to do that. So we basically, through our co-op model, we are trying to create job ready graduates for the industry, and that's where it's a very unique USP for Federation University.
Thank you so much. And the other question that I have is, how does the university create a sense of community, particularly for the students who are new for studying in Australia, and how they're gonna, get into the campus and everything, and how it is a very safe environment for them for Federation University, how the university is gonna help for the students who are coming to study there?
So often, when the student comes in their orientation week, they are exposed to several things. They are introduced to some student mentors who are senior students and who would help these students settle down. We also have some Indian clubs where, the students will be able to mingle up with other students. Some time back, we also celebrated Diwali at our campus. The students, again, when they are in a classroom environment, we try to mix them up with other students so that, students can bring in different perspectives based on, their cultural heritages.
Yeah.
I do special projects in year 4 where, when I make a team of 3 students, I try to make sure that there's a gender balance, there's a age balance, there's also a balance of cultural heritage. Now again, we want our students to be independent, but again we provide support to them. So there's a team that also assists these students in developing their resumes. We have beautiful campuses, lush green campuses. In the campus where I'm located, we have a beautiful lake, and often, when I started working at that campus, I would go for a walk around the lake, and it's such a relaxing environment. Again, for students who want to fish, they can learn fishing. There are a lot of cultural clubs within the regions where we are located, and these students are encouraged to mingle up with those cultural clubs, community groups. In Ballarat, for example, we also have a Ballarat Indian Association, and these students are more than welcome to join those associations so that, they can be connected to remain connected to their culture, but also they can learn other cultures.
I can understand, but I still have one more question, that the students who are coming to study in Australia, they are sometimes are just an 18-year-old students, right? Sometimes they get homesick as well. So how the university actually support that? Because I can understand every university has their own international help people who actually help students to get over these issues.
So that's where these mentors are extremely useful. And when, you go to these clubs, you mingle up with, other students from your own background, your seniors who have been there for a while. That's how, you get that support. Again, you have sporting clubs, you can play cricket, you can play badminton. We have tied up with some organizations, and the students can even learn swimming. So there are several ways by which, the students are connected. There are notice boards where, we put all the events that are happening on a regular basis. So eventually, it's up to the student to take the initiative and find what is their core interest. And again, if they need any help and they are struggling in their initial few days, we do provide them with counseling support as well.
So for the initial stage, student does have the personal counseling if
That's
they feel
right.
homesick.
That's right.
Okay. And what does do the faculty support team play in shaping the overall student experience?
So see, the faculty has a key role to make sure that the student is learning the key learning outcomes from a unit, and they become, job ready, industry ready. In that process, when we meet them in week 1 of the semester, we introduce them to the unit, we tell them how they can contact us. We have an open door policy, the students can come and contact us. We have an option to meet the student online and provide them support. Again, if I have an assessment task which is running for 4 weeks, I do provide the students an opportunity to meet me in week 2 and week 3 and discuss the progress with me. Again, every lecturer, every academic is different, every project will be different, but again, as I said, we have an open door policy, and when we have that kind of policies, we try to make the students comfortable. The key thing is that we try to create a relation between a professional relation between a student and an academic, rather than a relation based on phobia of the professor, of the academic. And when we have that kind of relation where the student is learning from the academic, but the academic is also learning from the student, when you have that kind of relationship, eventually they become professional friends. I can cite several examples where students who graduated under me have actually been contacting me and talking to me about the industry problems that they have, and how federation and I can help with those problems. So that relation building happens over a period of time. But I think right in week 1 we try to bring in that comfort level in the classroom, with some jokes, with some videos, with an opportunity for them to introduce themselves, so that they can find friends within the classroom, but they can also have a productive professional relationship with us.
Thank you so much. Was wonderfully explained. The last question that I have is, how does the studying in regional and semi-regional setting enhance student life and experiences?
Okay, that's again a very good question. And again, if you compare an urban area and if you compare, Delhi with Chandigarh, you will find that there's a massive difference. In the same way, when you compare Melbourne CBD and urbanized parts of Melbourne with, regional areas of Victoria, you will find a unique difference. The population density in the regional areas is much lesser, but again, since we have a aging population in those areas, there are a lot of opportunities for students who want to gain some experience in another industry. They have part-time job opportunities, but a lot of development that is happening in regional areas would require a lot of engineers. Again, coming back to the Gippsland campus where I am, we have a lot of energy projects coming there. Now, do you think those energy projects will be done by AI robots? No. We need engineers to do that. And what kind of engineers we need for that? We need civil engineers, we need mechanical engineers, we need electrical engineers. And that's where these students, when they start studying with us and when they do a co-op placement with an industry of their choice and a project of their choice, they have an opportunity to be absorbed by those regional industries. And there's a lot of growth happening in our regional areas. A lot of people after pandemic decided to relocate to regional areas, because regional areas have a smaller population density and they have the flexibility now to work from home 2 or 3 days from home. And when these people have started moving to regional areas, we need more accommodation for those people, we need more housing for those people, and that's where a lot of housing projects are also coming up in regional areas. A lot of councils in regional areas are always looking for engineers. So I would say regional areas offer a very big opportunity for our students, and that's where we again have another USP of being a regional university who understands regional issues and can provide opportunities to our students in regional areas.
I wanted to ask, for the students who are going to study in Australia, they still have the question that studying in regional having a less opportunity of work, and rather having studying in non-regional. So it's just a myth, or
I would say it is a myth.
It's a myth.
There are a lot of jobs. I won't say that many jobs as in urban areas. But again, when the students are on a learning curve, I would recommend the students to be staying close to where they are studying, and find local job opportunities, and again make the best use of the co-op model that we have, and find an industry specific job, and then that will really help them transition into the job industry at a smoother and a faster pace.
When we talk about the engineering, it covers a very vast segment. So these are the traditional engineering courses. Then there is AI and ML. So could you please give our student some tips how to choose a right engineering program for them?
See, this is very interesting question. Every student will be different.
Yeah.
Often, a student might say that I want to pick up this course because my friend has picked up this course, and I will not,
Yeah.
go that pathway. You have to understand this, that, once you do a degree qualification and start working, in a few years, you really need the motivation to get out of the bed, dress
Yeah.
up, and go to work, right?
Course.
And that motivation will happen only and only if the student has a passion towards something. Now I have a big passion for environment and sustainability and climate change, adaptation. So anything when I see around that, I really jump to get that opportunity because I have that passion,
Yeah.
right?
Course.
But if there is something that I'm not very interested about, obviously I will struggle to be connected with those things. So I think the students need to find that passion. Once they have found that passion, and that's where, we again have something unique, that in the first year of our engineering program for undergraduate students,
Yeah.
all of the engineering students study together, and that gives them another opportunity to reflect whether they would like to study civil engineering or
ML.
or something else. Now AI and ML is more of an IT offering,
Yeah.
but again, as I said, we do integrate that in our students through, the computer programming units that they study, and we urge our students to understand that AI and ML is more of a tool, right? We don't expect an engineering student to become a developer of an AI program, but they can use the AI and ML techniques to, collect data, to understand what data is required, how to collect it, how to get good quality data, and then consequently use that data to make any prediction or create a software for better operation, maintenance, and asset management.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we are very glad to hear insight of the university and the program that you have, that Federation University offer, that actually helps our student for the future, to choose the program and the right university for Australia when they are studying. Thank you so much.
So, as a final pitch, Kanika, I would say that Australia is a beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
And once the students land there, they will really enjoy, and they will, appreciate anyone who has advised them to consider Australia as an option to study. Now, again, studying in a regional area will be again a very unique proposition for them, and I would strongly advocate that, they should consider studying at Federation and at a regional campus. On top of everything, for our students who want to become engineers, I would urge them to go to Engineers Australia website, and they will really see that there is a big demand for engineers in Australia. So I think if the student is dedicated, hardworking, sincere, sky is the limit, and I look forward to having some of the students from Australia, from India to Australia at our university in the next few months. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Hope you enjoyed our session today. If you have any queries, you can drop us a comment and subscribe our channel.